experts that help you out. So who do you have on board for this one? Are they different ones? Are they new?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. If like counselors actually go and help, kind of give tips and advice, but.
We have we actually been working with the city quite a bit on that structure piece. That's all. Most of the stuff we talk about is all public knowledge. If you spend a lot of time on the city website, you could probably find it all what we're talking about. We just sort of have synthesized it and made it user friendly and more engaging in person. I think we make all that information come alive in the sessions.
Plus, you gather around a lot of like-minded people that all want to be that way. So.
Well, I think, a lot of people, there'll still be some disagreement, but everyone is there and aligned in terms of making Ottawa a better place. Which is a neat place. It's a little bit utopic. It sounds a little bit like band camp, but it really is like a super positive experience. And that energy in the room is something that you can't explain until you've lived it. We've been working with Dick Stewart, who's a former manager of the City of Ottawa. We have Carolyn Andrew, who is the director of the Centre on Governance, and just like knows the ins and outs of municipal government as it stands. It does not actually exist legally. It's actually a law within provincial government. Which is interesting. Most people don't realize that. Yeah, it doesn't exist. You don't really exist. And a lot of things are downloaded. So she explains that sort of downloading of services just makes, the things that we see, the daily in and out of our city, where that actually comes from, who has the authority, who told who to do this. Yeah. We cover that. We have the vice president of Minto as a land use planning expert. So he comes from a very interesting developer perspective. And Chris Stoney, who's an expert in academia and the legality of land use planning, which is a topic that comes up, as you can imagine, a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah,
in Ottawa and in Civics Boot Camp. So those are we like to feature success stories in Ottawa because we have all these really neat examples of people who've actually been successful in getting things done from these perspectives. We feature the plant bath pool, which is a plant bath pool story. So that's a 15-year saga. They were going to bulldoze what is now the pool. Before that, there was an old building. They were going to just raise it. They were not even discussing fixing it. And then 15 years of community groups came in and advocated to have that saved as a piece of heritage for the community. They should have been bathing caps during budgeting consultations. They should have been towels, and they'd send swimming goggles to councillors. The things they did just to get that attention and get that groundswell is amazing. The Betty High Daycare Center in Sandy Hill is an example we use. Hidden Harvest as well. And now we're actually taking some of the success stories from our past graduates. So we mentioned practicum, and practicum is really that chance at the very end for people to work with other citizens around something that they're passionate about. Come up with a hypothetical project. You don't have to carry forward at the end. But
yeah, so this is basically what happens when you get together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we'll start from the beginning then if you're going to get into that.
Yeah.
So interested people, how can they apply and what do they need to do and how do you choose the applicants that get involved? How many are you accepting for the next one?
Good questions. Mm-hmm. So because of the resources, because of a lot of things, we only have a spot for about 40. We invite 45 because there's 3 or 4 people that end up dropping out. So right now, in 5 days, there's 45 participants. We're starting up at our launch at City Hall. How that go? We just do a general call out to everybody in Ottawa. Everybody and anybody above the age of 18 can apply. That is literally the prerequisite.
Where do they go to apply?
They go online at citizensacademy.ca. We also have posters around the city in community health resource centers, community centers, the rec centers, and libraries. So that's actually where a lot of people are seeing that. We have a QR code, or you can just write down the phone number or email address. The application is either by phone or online, and it's just your personal information. So we get name, age, gender, and postal code. And that is actually how we select people. The people are also asked to identify 3 things they're passionate about, but we don't select people based on any of this. It's really demographic data, because when you walk into the room at Civics Boot Camp, it's a slice of Ottawa pie. We have people from the rural parts of town. We have an exact representation of center, south, east, and west, based on census data and Statistics Can, the latest that we can get our hands on. And everybody comes in, so we have about 100 applications every year. We got 100 again this time around. So inviting 40 people is hard. It's kind of it's hard to turn people away, but at this point our program is still free. We offer a light dinner for everybody, so there's just something.
When you first get there the first day, you're
what
better to meet people is with food. So
yes. And that's exactly it. And I think everybody, it doesn't matter where you come from, everyone can agree on food. And so there's this really neat experience that happens from the very first minute. Everyone's kind of sharing dinner and sharing a meal and breaking bread with total strangers, as you already have some common ground. So that's where we start off the session, and then roll into governance, budgeting, and land use planning, and now in public engagement.
And then at some point you invite anybody that has an idea of what they want to do to bring to the city to come forward, and then you have then the people have a chance to vote on 8 options. You try to split them into 8 groups, and then so then you have a very good way of voting.
Yeah, it's funny. So that like when Danielle was saying that our thing has literally changed 3 times in the 3 offerings, that's where we're at. Because the very first boot camp in the fall, people just sort of rambled out their interest on the application form, and we came up with general themes, and we put people in these teams from the very beginning. So there wasn't actually that pitch at the beginning that you got to experience, Nick. But then we turned that over on its head and did that instead. Kind of did like a 30-second speech of people, whatever you're interested about. If there's something that you want to do and you think others would be interested in getting involved in, come and talk about it. And as you can tell, it's the craziest thing. And there's 30 people who walk up and with experience that just ideas just blow your mind. A lot of people are passionate about the arts, which is what's really, really interesting to hear in Ottawa.
My favorite part.
Yeah. But we have all kinds of ideas. And in particular, in the spring, as you know, there was people who wanted to work on the libraries of the future. Like, books are kind of going obsolete, but how do we use these huge, these mass buildings around the city as public space and make it effectively as still at the heart of a community? What was the other? There's intensification, complete streets, policies, happiness survey for the city. That was something that came up again in the spring. People wanted to talk about the backyard chicken bylaw and changing that, having that go around. And the Gotta Go campaign is probably the one that we talk about the most. It's been really seen most publicly.
So what was the Gotta Go campaign? How many people worked on it, and where is it going now?
Yeah, good. So that's that group, if I could put that into context, there's people who applied and it had all kinds of interests around environment, waste management, and recycling. So we literally created a group of people who were like, hey, you guys were interested in environment, waste management, recycling? Go. Just sit with each other and find where you can find common ground. And from that, they've developed, I don't think anybody actually came in with this idea, but when they all got together, put their heads together, they came up with the Gotta Go campaign. And it's advocating for public toilets in Ottawa. So and they would like to see free, accessible, safe, clean network of public toilets in Ottawa. But if you look at any other major city, basically in the world, and certainly in North America and in Eastern or Western Europe, all cities have public toilets. Because if you have to go to the bathroom, you shouldn't have to walk into Tim Hortons or Rideau Center or McDonald's on Rideau Street. Like this, if anybody's ever been there after hours, it's like they become the public toilet of the city, and that's basically a business stepping up for a public need. And so, crazy thing about them is they ended up doing their practicum presentation on November 19th. The World Toilet Day. Who knew that existed? But it just so happened everything aligned for the Public Toilet Day on November 19th, and they've since been talking a lot with the NCC, with current council, and all kinds of stakeholders in the community, because they're, as a baseline, they're trying to get toilets in the light rail transit stations because there are none planned. There's some at the very beginning and at the very end, but this is like 21st century infrastructure, and we're not putting any toilets in.
From what I remember, taking the bus, there's not a lot at any of the bus stations.
There's none.
Right?
There's none. And
and then people end up making a bathroom wherever they want, which doesn't smell.
So that's why it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And that's why we made it a place.
Parking garages downtown, stairwells and everything like that. Like it's pretty revolting.
Yeah.
And it's funny whenever you talk to the Gotta Go campaign, they say that every time they've been talking about this, everybody jumps on it. Everyone has a bad toilet story. Like, oh yeah, that's one time. It was like, oh god, you get all kinds of potty talk.
Do you know of any councillors running for council, future councillors potential that are talking about getting this into the
Gotta
budget?
Go.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to them recently. I don't know. I know that they have quite a few councillors who are supporting it. Especially candidates that are coming in that say that they would support them if they got elected. Yeah, you know how that works. But I wouldn't know to name off one in particular.
Okay, so but when is the next Academy going to happen after this one? So because we interviewed you a little too late, I apologize. so we wouldn't be able to get people for the next this one coming up. But what about for the next one?
Spring boot camp.
Boot camp.
Civics boot camp happens twice a year. Spring and fall. That's just the easiest time to get people in Ottawa because summer people are not around.
Yeah.
And the fall boot camp is October, November. Spring boot camp is usually April, May. So we might actually bump it up as early as March this year, but stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So how long do they run for, sorry?
6 weeks.
6 weeks?
There's 6
That's
weeks.
meeting every day or?
Once a week.
Okay.
Once a week. Right now we're Tuesday evenings, 5:30 to 9, and the dinner is 5:30 to 6. Free dinner, and 6 to 9 is the actual program. And the new part this year is that we meet once a week for 6 weeks, and at the end, or between weeks, is about an hour's worth of stuff online that people will go
So
through.
go there, citizensacademy.ca, was it?
Yes.
Citizensacademy.ca. And before we get to our last song from Danielle Allard, we'll go over quickly events this week. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Great event. We learned so much, and I think this will be a very well listened to show. Events this week tonight, Petra Kucha, where Manjeet from Citizens Academy will be talking about Civics Boot Camp and everything. All citizens at the Knox Presbyterian Church, Richard Coyne at the House of Tar. Friday, you got the Ottawa Charity Ping Pong Tournament at the Spin Bin.
Yeah.
I'll be volunteering at that, and as well.
Not competing?
Nope, I volunteer every year there, Andrew. Oktoberfest starts.
Whoa.
Oktoberfest starts there at Bose and Barhaven. Saturday, I'll be at Oktoberfest with you. I'll see you there.
Bankley Kill?
Bankley Kill.
Yeah, Barhaven's Oktoberfest is this weekend as well?
That's right.
Really?
And you got Jim Jeffries and Porter Robinson Saturday night, so that's a...
And Russell Peters Saturday night as
Wow,
well.
that's the same night?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus. That's a fail for comedians out there.
busy night
Having
on
Jim
Saturday.
Jeffries and Russell Peters. the
And
same
Porter
night.
Robinson.
And Oktoberfest.
And Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Sunday, you got Brouhaha at Bridgehead as part of the Support Local Month. Monday, Crush Improv at the Heart Crown, as well as Danielle at Lowertown. So you have great stuff on Monday night. And now Los Amigos Salsa Sundays. Next
There you
week,
go.
we have Craig Cardiff. So that will be a lot of fun. If you don't know who Craig Cardiff is, listen next
Oh, it's
week.
also Run for the Cure on Sunday.
Run for the Cure.
Yeah.
There we go. All
That's
right.
a great thing to do right after Bo's Oktoberfest.
Oh, goodness.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
All right, last song from Danielle. What are we playing?
This is a song called Little Demons.
Little Demons.
Right on.
It's not always Citizens Academy appropriate.
Maybe
I
it
will
is.
write our jingle, I promise. I smile, I laugh in the face of danger. I am fine, I am alright, my dear monsieur. I know my habits they seem like a plea. I'm out of excuses I keep on my sleeves. Close my eyes and improvise on these funny little lies. And I can't fight these demons anymore. No, 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 no. I won't fight these demons anymore. No, 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 no. I thought that we could sail on just a little farther, but we won't make it to the harbor. Seconds away with the wind in our sails, pulling at clothes and biting at nails. Close my eyes and improvise all these funny little lies. And I can't fight these demons anymore.